This is Braden Schwab with The Works, back to you again with yet another video. But today's video, what we're going to be doing is doing something a little bit different than traditionally, stepping away from the green screen, and we're gonna do a little background on Depop. Now, a lot of you are familiar with Depop. It has been around since 2011, and in that time has gained over 10 million users because a lot of people like what it brings to the table. Now, what Depop is a simple app that is for fashion, trendy clothing, and is very popular with the resale community because the majority of people who are selling on Depop and making great money doing so are going to thrift shops. They're finding great thrift clothing, great vintage wear that is perfect for Depop, and they're reselling it there. If you like this type of content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel to make sure that you get it every single week and you know when we upload. Aside from that, we're gonna get right into it. Now let's go. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen with you all, and we're going to dive into the Depop app. So as you can see now, I am on that home screen. Depop is an app that is available on not only the App Store for iOS, but also in Google Play. I'm on my laptop just to show you the example of what you would be looking at as you go through. Very similar, there's not much difference. As you can see, as you go down, it's very customizable, which is nice. And it allows you to sell in your own style. But I'm gonna first touch on the value it has for resellers. Now I'm gonna click on the top right, hit sell. And now I'm on this page, it's gonna tell me, first off, the photos. Now what you wanna start with here is for your photos, you do not want to add any more than any less than 3. Now, the reason why I say that is you want to give people a lot of different perspectives of the clothing. They want to be comfortable that when they're getting it, they've seen every angle that they need to. Description. You want to make sure you are as descriptive as you can possibly be. I can't tell you how many times I've stumbled upon a fit and I look at the description and there's nothing there for me. And that leaves you to wonder, what are they hiding from me here? Why are they not taking the time to fill out the description? Is there something that I'm missing? And that's really important when you're looking for something, because with Depop, it's very different than obviously getting it from a thrift store straight up. You can't really take it back easily in exchange. You can't try it on before it comes. So you want to find out those things in the forefront. And a lot of times, when it comes to finding out the exact size for something, the origination of a piece, it's not going to be found unless you look in the description. They will not fill anything out unless it is there. So with that in mind, you want to make sure that you fill it out as well as you can and add hashtags to it. You see that you have access to 5 hashtags right here. You want to take full advantage of those because that is how your clothing is going to be found on the main screen. When I type in Jordans, when I type in Champion, the ones who include that as a hashtag have a much better chance of being seen than the ones who don't even mention it. Going down, here's the thing here, be straight up. When it comes to the condition, be straight up with it, because if you say something is in good shape and it has many holes in it when they buy it, they will go into your account. They will give you a ton of 1 stars. They will give you horrible reviews, and it will make it so no one ever buys from you again. And it's not worth it when it comes down to that. So you're best just being straight up. And if they buy it, they buy it. If they don't, they don't. That's also where the description comes in handy, because sometimes my definition of a fair outfit is not the same as yours. My definition of fair could be very great to, perfect to wear. Someone else's definition could be mediocre or average or mid. You don't have to go too crazy with this, but one that is really, really key is location. Location, location, location. The reason why you fill out location is when you are shipping this out, it takes into account how far away you are from the person. Say if I'm buying something from, let's say it's, worldwide, right? Let's say I'm buying something from Australia. I'm going to be much more inclined to buy that same piece from Oklahoma or Florida because I know that the shipping is going to be much cheaper, even if it costs a little more, and it's going to get there faster than it would from Australia. Unless, of course, for whatever reason, they're using some sort of express shipping method, which is very unlikely unless they're a very, very experienced seller and they have a niche in that. And honestly, here you can mark your own shipping method. Shipping method as far as if you want to enable worldwide, if you want to ship directly with Depop or do your own thing with it, you can set your own mark on that. And then from there, you just post it and it would end up on your page. As a seller, among some of the tips that I would mention, I think one of the biggest ones, you want to make sure that you are putting the price of the piece for what the market demands for it. So the first thing that you want to do when you find something, let's say, for example, you find a pair of Jordan 1s, they are like new, and the ones you have would go for roughly $200. You have to make sure that not only you didn't pay $200 or more for those Jordans before you went to resell them, you also want to check in and make sure that those Jordans that you had are not worth less than what they really are. You have to do your homework when you're taking these shoes. Whenever you're at this thrift store, whenever you're thrift shopping, whenever you're even on eBay or OfferUp or Facebook or any of these other sites, getting clothing to resell it, make sure that you're on Google and you're looking up the exact name of whatever fit you're about to get. You provide as much detail as you can so that you can go find it. And once you do find it, you can price it accordingly. With all the competition that is in the Depop marketplace, you have to separate yourself in a good way. You have to make sure that you keep yourself at a professional level. You want to make sure that your page is built out. You include descriptions. And even another great thing that does help is you have just a lot of clothing that you are selling. So even if there's only like a couple pieces that you're really looking to push off, if you just post other cool fashion pieces that you have, then that will help attract other people to your page because they don't think you're just some one and done person who's got this one piece, and then once they sell it, their account's going to disappear and they're gone forever. When you establish a lot of clothing and you make it like this it's your side business and you have a lot of things going on with it, it provides a level of trust for the buyer. It makes them think, okay, this person has something to lose. If they messed up with this order with me today, they would lose a lot of credibility. A lot of people wouldn't buy from them. And they have a lot of other pieces that they're selling that would not move off the shelf. So this is important. I have not gotten anything off of Depop that didn't meet that criteria. I think the last thing I got was my crew sweater. And that sweater, the person who was selling it was from the Midwest. I want to say she was from Ohio or something like that. And she was selling a lot of other clothing. I want to say I saw at least 8 pieces. She could be up to 20 by now. And a lot of cool stuff was there. She had some that was already sold. And that gave me a lot of confidence too. Like, hey, her stuff is selling. That means she's also got it priced well enough to where people are worthy of paying. And as a seller, don't be afraid to lower your prices on stuff. If it's not moving after a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're good to shift it a little bit. And if it ever gets too bad, then just take it off for a minute. Maybe it's just not the time. Maybe you don't need to be selling a woolly ass sweater in the middle of summer. Now, the next thing I want to get into is how a buyer is looking at Depop. Why would someone who's not interested in selling really, who just wants to look at cool stuff on Depop, want to use it? And really the best way I can do is by showing you. I'm going to put in Jordan 1 low. And when I do that, as you can see, I have all these cool options. Like, damn, I might just spend a little time after this video and just get one of these because these are some nice looking shoes. Like, damn. All right. Anyways, as you can see, a lot of repeat posts there. There's one company that stands apart, and I'm going to click on this one here. EVEE Shop. Now, when I'm looking at this buyer, this seller, they've sold 542 kicks. They're active, 215 rating. When I go to their site, you can tell what their specialty is. Now, from everything I'm seeing here, would you say that they are a pretty legit buyer? 100%. You can even tell by the following that they have, and this is solely off Depop. Now, something that is cool through Depop, you can tie in your Instagram. You can tie in a lot of different things to that. They have great authenticity, which is very important, especially when you're getting shoes like these. When you're getting into the $200, $300+ territory, you got to make sure that you're buying from someone who has a good reputation on this type of thing. As a buyer, you can now go to your profile. You can see what you've liked, and it will save everything that you've liked in the past. Let's say I wanted to go to this cool shirt that I'm actually highly considering buying. I don't know why I didn't get that. This is a really good ass deal. Okay. I'm on this page, Zactic. You scroll all the way down, you can see more things you might like. Now, these are exactly where you want to be when you're looking for something or in the wheelhouse of what you want, but it may not be exactly it. So as you can see, we've got other similar Kanye West merch. I feel like Pablo, Yeezus, College Dropout, Kanye 2020, and this shirt, long sleeve, it's a short sleeve one. All right, I have the long sleeve one of this, and I'll actually go put it on here real quick, but on Etsy, it's 3 times the price, 2 or 3 times the price. I paid for this, just the long sleeve, and it was at 40. So obviously this is a short sleeve, which is slightly different, but it's not different enough to the point where I would be selling it at that price. So that's just a little bit of diving into Depop. I'm going to do some more videos just depicting Depop versus other competitors and Facebook Marketplace versus competitors. I want to take them all into a box and kind of show you which one is best for you, because me just taking 1 or 2 into account doesn't do any justice to all these great platforms. We still haven't even covered Facebook Marketplace. We haven't covered everything with Etsy, Poshmark. I did have a video on StockX, and I have that here if you wanted to check that out. But there still are so many that I want to share with you all and make it a really safe environment for reselling. Now, one thing I did forget to mention for you resellers, they do take a 10% fee on Depop, and it's calculated with, I think, the Depop fee, and then they sell through PayPal. So those are the 2 fees there. And for you buyers on Depop, there's so many cool things out there. I just hit the tip of the iceberg when it came to shoes, but they have a wide selection for shoes, clothing, shirts, pants, joggers, something for boys, something for girls. And as you saw in the long sleeve, the one inspired by Kobe, made by Kanye West, it is worn by them. So they're modeling out the clothing. They have versions where Kanye West is wearing it. They have versions with them wearing it to show you the length on it and the fit, which is really important, which is why I mentioned to you, have many photos, have a lot of photos, have a great description, because it goes so far. And that's all I had for this video. We're going to do a lot more of these. I really like to switch up some of this content, and we're going to have some more reaction videos to some things that are going on in the fashion industry. There is a lot of talk with how people feel about loan lately. There's a lot of really cool artistic tools that are coming out to the forefront that I'd love to share with you all as well, so that you can kind of see how they work, how much they cost, and if it's something that you like to work on as a designer, as an artist, to incorporate inside what you do. But anyways, that's all I had for today. Like, comment, and subscribe to this video, and we will see you next time. Bye.